What is up? What is up? YouTube. How y'all doing? Check this out, man. Uncle Mike is marketing, promoting the website. It's been up for a minute, man. The world's largest rap contest. I am sick and tired of sitting here in this studio. I am ready to take somebody's music to the next level. So Uncle Mike is looking for his starting 5. I'm going to take 5 artists that can prove to me they can follow directions and they really want this and not end up in jail. Let's be smart. Let's learn music. Let's learn the business of music. Let's learn from Uncle Mike the stuff I know. And I can take you to the next level. So go check out the world's largest rap contest.com because I'm pretty sure 5 rappers will be blessed. I'm pretty sure. I'm getting pissed off at this mess. So, with that being said, y'all want to see the website real quick? Uncle Mike built the website itself. If you can do, this is the groups. I'm just going to show the groups real quick. These are the different groups and stuff. Our flagship is Turn Music into Money. That's our flagship. We teach people how to turn music into money. If you're interested in learning, feedback and training is where everybody gonna start. I'm gonna give you your feedback on your music, tell you what you can do better. Nobody has a perfect song. Nobody has a perfect song. So once you go to the website, this is the front of the website. Training. Being in the studio. This is me back in the day. That's me back in the day, y'all, working the mixing board and stuff. I am sick and tired of people thinking that every video gotta have guns in it. Every video gotta have all this money and this jewelry. And that's the only way you can make it. This hood rich stuff. Why would you want to promote your music to this hood stuff and they ain't gonna buy it? They don't. When ask anybody in the hood them last time they bought some music. Come on, man. You gotta reach further than that. Nipsey Hussle did. He was reaching further than that. And next thing you know, he was blowing up. Kendrick Lamar did. Now he doing the Super Bowl. He did it. Yeah. So I coach people on how to take their money to the their music to the next level. I said their money. But anyway, you want to do this? You want to do it this way, right? He is dumb. Young Thug going back to prison. You're going back to prison, bruh? Don't tell me this. This is clickbait. Please, I done heard this before. I done heard it before that he going back to prison for after posting this tweet. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Let's check it out.
Fannie Willis has officially filed a motion to send Young Thug back to jail.
Damn.
And it all stems from a couple of tweets that Young Thug posted yesterday. Tweets are not illegal. This is America. We have freedom of speech. But because Young Thug signed quite possibly the worst plea deal I've ever seen a high-profile celebrity signed, they have the leisure to essentially send Young Thug to jail whenever they so please. And this right here is a perfect example of it. When we found out what Young Thug's plea deal was, everybody and their mama on social media told Young Thug, bro, you better all fight in this case, bro. This is just a trap to send you back to jail.
Participation in criminal street gang activity. How do you plead?
I plead guilty.
As to count 58, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. How do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 59, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. How do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 60, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. How do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 61, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. How do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. How do you plead?
No law.
As to count 56, participation in criminal street gang activity under the leadership charge. How do you plead?
No law.
I think you didn't ask about count 62.
As to count, thank you, Your Honor. As to count 62, possession of a machine gun. How do you plead?
Guilty.
The plea deal was horrible, bruh. They gave Young Thug 15 years of probation And if he violates within 15 years just one time, they can send him to jail for 20 years because the 20 years is a backloaded suspended sentence. And their terms for violation is even more ridiculous. Young Thug is banned from Atlanta for 10 years. Young Thug can't say gang terminology. He can't use it in his music. So if he says cuh, slat, slime, slut, 20 years in jail.
Damn.
He can't hang out with any felons, 20 years in jail. Right? He can't contact anybody who was on that particular case with him besides Gunna, 20 years in jail. So it's just so restrictive that it's almost impossible for Young Thug to avoid not going back to jail for 20 years. You know the plea deal is bad when your own lawyer is coming out after pleading and he's telling you, bro, we could have gotten a not guilty plea, bro. I'm not happy with this guilty plea, man, but Thug wanted to take it because Thug wanted to come home today.
Obviously, he wanted to get out of jail, basically.
As far as how Jeffrey's feeling now, he knows my feelings, which I'm not going to reveal for attorney-client privilege, but this is not the same as a not guilty verdict. That should have been rang. But nobody here wakes up every day on a concrete floor that they're calling his bed, gets up at 4:15, gets shackled at his feet, his waist, and his hands, comes to the Fulton County Courthouse to be on concrete, eating out of a bag. Doritos is his meal of choice. And then coming to a courtroom and sit there with a leg chain on him every single day and hear lie after lie. So for Jeffrey go home today and not have another 90 days or 120 days of it, he is very happy, thankful to the honorable court. So to answer your question, this was not what I wanted. I don't believe that it is just, but I believe that under these circumstances, it is justice for Jeffrey Williams, and he is delighted, as are we, and thankful.
Essentially, Young Thug sold his soul to the devil that is Fani Willis, and he done signed up to be in Fani Willis' grip, right, for at least 15 years. So now what we have is, because Fani Willis feels like she can abuse her power and do anything, because she essentially got Thug under this 15-year probation that threatens him with 20 years of backloaded suspended sentence. So yesterday, Young Thug made a tweet that Fani Willis didn't like. Young Thug posted biggest liar in the DA office. And this is a picture of Marissa Verrado. I'll call her Verrado the Vixen. All right. This is the quote unquote undercover detective who has essentially managed to weasel her way into the good graces of gangbangers all across the city because she looks like a BBL Instagram model. And she's managed to weasel information out of them, and then she testifies against them as a gang expert. It's a dirty game she's playing, which is why she never shows her face in court. But Verrado is the same lady who was testifying in the YSL case, got caught up in multiple lies, got discredited, the judge yelled at her. She's a mess. But Young Thug posted this because she's now doing the same thing to Lil Baby. All right, so she was testifying in the Goodfella Lil Baby Ops RICO case. And while she was testifying in front of the grand jury, she testified that the Goodfellas was on wiretap saying that Lil Baby put a bag on their head. But here's the thing. They never said Lil Baby. Right? She came to that conclusion on her own.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's going on? Man, them folks, like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying? They ain't even like that, man. Them folks got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
He said them folks got a lot of tickets on that, a bunch of these folks' head. Did y'all hear him say that? All right, she gonna watch, and Marino is gonna explain it to them. Hold on. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna play it on its own, so y'all be like, Sylvia, why don't you shut up? Okay, I'm gonna play it
They
again.
tell me that too, girl. They tell me that too.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay.
That still ain't explaining. Come on, man. Y'all people got to be the dumbest people in the world, and these are lawyers. That did not explain what that was. You still using street terminology. A ticket on the head, what does that mean? Like a bounty on the head. Well, what's a bounty? What the fuck is you saying? I'm about to off somebody. Now, I can't say what they should have said. Basically, I'm going pow somebody. YouTube is telling you, that's what's wrong with the world. Can't nobody even say what, and you talking about, but you got a freedom of speech, my behind. This is why all the confusion. You had him earlier. Count 1, they're guilty. Okay, count 2, not guilty. Man, look, let's cut this bull. I mean, guilty. He's saying guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, guilty. Look, man, let's count all these counts you guilty for, right? Yes. And all these other counts, you got to draw this bull stuff out. Well, we got to make it clear. If we're going to make it clear, he gonna mess up and want to act stupid, put him in jail. Next case, please. I'll be living on the golf course. Dude, they got video of you shooting somebody. You lie to me, you gonna go under the jail. You got jail and you got liars. The first thing we need to do is we need to change the justice system for liars. If we know you lying, you go under the jail. You know you lying too. That's why you end up under the jail.
Them arrested,
Harmed or killed.
and who were they referring to in that portion of it?
There you go. She finally said it.
Being referred to as uncle.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders.
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harmed or killed.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones had wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
They never said Lil Baby's name, but they brought the gang expert Marissa Ferraro in court so she can testify. But here's the thing. When she testifies, the court is not allowed to put the camera on her face. She is an undercover detective, right? She is remaining anonymous.
Right.
So what's going on here is because she's been in the YSL trial, because she's been in several high-profile trials, people in court has identified her and they've been posting her on social media. So Young Thug posted Biggest Liar in the DA and he showed her picture, showed her face, but he never identified her as Marissa. He just said, just the biggest liar. But nonetheless, though, like Fannie Willis was very upset that Young Thug posted this, right? Because first of all, Marissa is supposed to be like incognito, undercover. So you posting this is already out in somebody currently testifying in the high profile gang RICO, right? You know, gang RICO, like for example, Goodfellas, who was known for taking out snitches. So Fannie Willis is upset, right? And Fannie Willis is putting all the blame on Young Thug because apparently after Young Thug posted this, death threats started to reel in. People began to threaten, Fannie Willis, began to threaten Marissa, began to threaten her mama. So Fannie Willis filed a state motion to revoke Young Thug's probation. Now, they will claim that apparently Young Thug, who is the defendant, continued presence in the community under probationary supervision presents a clear and present danger to public safety and undermines the rule of law. The cold part about all of this is Young Thug isn't even in their community. Y'all banned him for 10 years. Did y'all forget? Look at how vague this is, and you can't tell me probation ain't slavery, yo. So apparently Fannie Willis believes that she has the power to send Young Thug to jail whenever she so pleases. And her reason is the conditions of probation were imposed pursuant to OCGA, which authorizes courts to establish and enforce conditions necessary to protect the public and uphold the administration of justice. So apparently Young Thug don't even have to violate the specific conditions they set in place. They can make up conditions as they go, right? If they so please decide that Young Thug breathing disturbs public safety, they can bring him back to prison. Under the section escalating threats and witness intimidation, they will say the investigator Marissa Viverado is currently testifying in a multi-defendant gang murder preliminary hearing, which remains ongoing and is set to reconvene on Monday, April 7th, 2025. During this hearing, the court explicitly ordered that the witness not be shown on television while testifying. Despite this order, a known blogger deliberately violated the court's directive by posting on social media she doesn't want to be shown on screen. Well, here she is, along with a photograph of investigator 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. The blogger who did that was Infamous Sylvia, by the way. Now, they're now saying that Young Thug apparently got wind of this, and Young Thug decided to add his insult to injury too. The work will say on Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, Jeffrey Williams, Young Thug, amplified this act by reposting the image with the caption, 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 is the biggest liar in the DA's office. Yo, they put this in quotation as if that's what Young Thug said. Young Thug never said her name. He said biggest liar in the DA office. Like, if you're gonna put something in quotation in the official court document, bro, you might as well get it accurate. This is why Young Thug and them they didn't beat it, right? Like, Yak Gotti beat the RICO, but Young Thug pled guilty before he could beat it. But this is why they beat it, right? It's too many administrative errors. They will go on to say that Young Thug post quickly went viral, amassing over 2 million views with thousands of comments and retweets, many of which included direct threats to investigator 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 and her family. At this point, it feels like if you're on probation, you're not a citizen no more, bruh. Like, free speech don't exist for you just because you're on probation. It makes no sense. Young Thug is not responsible for those threats. Like, but Young Thug posted her picture because he felt like she's a liar, and he called her a liar. He ain't say, yo, go threaten her. So these are the specific threats they're talking about. Twitter user by the name of Mikey Day 100 posted, if the hate is really real, then pull up to her mama crib. Now, they got her mama address marked out, but obviously he didn't mark it out, and he actually posted the address and doxed her. But here's the thing, bruh. Now, can you imagine being one of these Twitter trolls, you posting one out of your 1,000 tweets, and then you wake up and you see yourself in a complaint for Young Thug? I feel like us normal people, we will be really upset, really frantic, really scared. But for trolls like this, I feel like they live for this, bruh. Like, they live for moments like this, yo.
Facts.
Right? They now feel important.
There's
But
some
again, I
trolls
don't
in this
tie
house.
this to Young Thug. I don't tie mentally ill people to Young Thug, bro. Like, this makes no sense. Young Thug has nothing to do with this. Now, this one ain't no screenshot. This one, you can tell Fannie Willis took this picture herself, all right? Right? Because this is taken by a phone through the screen. So Fannie Willis took this picture herself, man. So the tweet says, I will personally make sure Fannie Willis is assassinated, and, you know, they marked out Fannie Willis' crib. Now, this tweet got 93 views, bruh. So you know somebody was looking and searching. Again, mentally ill fans have nothing to do with Young Thug. I don't see how you're directing this to Young Thug. Young Thug never asked him to do this. Now, to me, this is the scariest one. If I'm this dude, I'm terrified. Because on Twitter, you can literally search terms and find what you're looking for. But this dude posted it on his Instagram story. So that means the feds had to be watching his profile to be able to see this. And he posted, dumb I used to live at altitude and got my Airbnb shut down. If I'm this dude, I'm terrified, bro. Because what do you mean the feds got my IG story? How they found my IG story? Fannie Willis is moving like she thinks she's the queen of the world or something, bro. Yo, how does Young Thug have constitutionally protected speech? He's not threatening her. He's not bringing no harm her way personally, right? But he can't have an opinion that she's a liar? Now Young Thug can't have an opinion on you guys? Yo, this is just unconstitutional. Now, Young Thug will respond back to Fannie Willis and the DA trying to make it appear that he's threatening people, and he'll make it very clear he's not threatening anyone. Young Thug posted, I don't make threats to people. I'm a good person. I would never condone anyone threatening anyone or definitely participate in threatening anyone. I'm all about peace and love. That's definitely a call from his attorney, bro, to make sure you put that out there so they know. Now, here's the thing, bro. I don't know why Fannie Willis keeps acting like she really wants to smoke. Fannie Willis don't want the Brian Steele smoke no more, bro. Brian Steele came in the courtroom, came in that trial, bro, and embarrassed all of them, bro. She don't want the Brian Steele smoke anymore, bro. So tell her stop asking for it. Now, I don't know how far this is going to go, but this seems like she's really pushing to send Thug back to jail. Now, Judge Whitaker purposefully. Now, if you was watching the trial, you know they wanted this to be an automatic thing. You violate, you go back to jail. But Judge Whitaker said, nah. She change the wording to where whenever the state want to violate Thug, Thug has to come in front of her and she decides if it's a violation and how much time he gets. Because they wanted Thug to violate and go back to jail for 20 years. Automatically 20 years. But she said, no, I would decide how much time Thug would do when he violates. So y'all let me know in the comment section, okay? What do you guys think, man? Y'all think Thug deserves to go back to jail for this? Or y'all feel like this is unconstitutional? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching, click on this video right here to find out how this interview by 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗞𝗦's co-defendant kind of proves that 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗞𝗦 is gonna do life in prison, all right? All hope is gone, okay? Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.
God dang. I got straight some things up. But check this out, man. Oh my goodness me, oh my. Dude, I don't know what it is, because these people are now allergic to jail. See, I don't know what, but you best believe I'm out of jail, I'm home, I ain't gonna tweet. I'm gonna tweet happy birthday. I'm gonna tweet positive things. I'm not gonna tweet. I'm not gonna upload. I ain't gonna do anything to have anything to do with negativity. Why in the world? Why in the hell are you actually? Yeah, she's a snitch. Who keeps it? Man, dude. Oh my God. I can't find the words to explain to y'all how these people are just straight up playing with fire. I gotta go outside and clean up, man. I got work to do, man. Look here, I gotta get off this thing, man. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike, told you so. Peace out.